Okay, let's unpack this. Have your social feeds just been absolutely flooded lately? I mean, with claims about miraculous hair growth from, like, strawberry dummies.
Oh, definitely. They're everywhere.
It seems like everyone on Instagram, from your favorite influencer to maybe that friend from high school, is convinced these little candies will turn you into Rapunzel overnight.
Or at least give you that super glossy hair they always show off.
Exactly. It's a huge trend, right?
Sure.
And the promise, I guess, of a simple, sweet solution to these complex beauty goals, it's just incredibly appealing.
It really is.
So today, we want to try and cut through all that noise. We're putting a specific product under the microscope, MaryRuth's hair, skin, and nail vitamins.
Ah, yes, a popular one.
Yeah. And our mission for this deep dive is really to go beyond the marketing dazzle and that sort of scientific-sounding jargon you always hear.
Right.
We're going to examine a recent YouTube review from Savage Reviews. They're known for being pretty no-nonsense, to pull out the most important nuggets of knowledge, the insights.
Good source for that.
The goal is simple: to arm you with the facts so you can decide if these popular gummies are genuinely a $35 miracle or maybe just an expensive fruit-flavored snack.
And what's fascinating here, I think, is how easily we can all be swayed by, appealing visuals and those powerful testimonials, especially when it's about something so personal like our appearance, our self-confidence.
Totally.
The whole wellness industry kind of thrives on those aspirations, doesn't it?
It really does.
So this deep dive, it's not just about this one product. It's more about helping us all develop a more critical eye,
Yeah.
learning to look beyond the surface and really understand what's going on with these types of supplements,
Yeah.
especially in a landscape that's just saturated with claims. It's kind of an exercise in information literacy, which is just increasingly vital these days.
I completely agree. That allure is just undeniable. So, okay, let's start by diving into the immediate appeal of these gummies, like as the Savage Reviews analysis pointed out.
All right.
The marketing is everywhere, isn't it? You see those stunning before and after photos.
Oh, yeah, the photos.
So, as the review quickly points out, they often look suspiciously like maybe just different lighting conditions or even, different hairstylists involved.
Yeah, that's a common trick.
But the overall vibe is very much like premium wellness. It suggests that just by taking these, you're not just taking a vitamin, you're investing in a lifestyle,
Yeah.
one that promises to, quote, revolutionize your appearance.
Big words.
Big words. And then there's the price tag, which definitely screams premium, $35 for a month's supply.
Wow.
And when you break that down, that's over $1 per single piece of candy.
Oof. Yeah, that adds up.
It's a significant investment for something that tastes, pretty much like a treat.
It's a brilliant marketing strategy, though, isn't it? Blending that indulgence with the promise of, real results.
Totally.
And, to be fair, the Savage Reviews analysis was quite balanced. They did give credit where credit's due.
Yeah, I noticed that.
They immediately noted some of Mary Ruth Organic's strong points, like the USDA organic certification. That's not always a given in the supplement world.
True.
They also have transparent labeling so you can actually see exactly what you're getting. And they seem to maintain legitimate manufacturing practices.
Okay.
And crucially, this is a big differentiator. They're not making those truly outrageous claims, unlike some competitors promising 6 inches of growth in a month, which is just
Biologically impossible, yeah.
exactly. So that upfront honesty about their process, it does set a certain baseline of trustworthiness, you could say.
That acknowledgement of their, ethical approach is important. It does set them apart from some of the wilder stuff out there. But as you sort of hinted at earlier, the real deep dive starts when we look past the glossy packaging and the certifications. What's actually in those gummies? And what does the science really say about those ingredients?
Precisely. This brings us to the core of the product itself. The key ingredients listed are biotin, vitamin C, vitamin E, and then something called Foti root extract. These are supposed to be the powerhouses behind the promised results.
Right. And here's where it gets really interesting, I think, because biotin, that's always the star, isn't it? The scientific-sounding one in hair growth supplements.
It always gets top billing.
Yeah, it's always featured prominently. But given how common it is, you'd assume it's absolutely crucial for everyone's hair health. What does the science actually say about needing it for most people, beyond just the name-sounding science-y?
That's a great question, and it's where the Savage Reviews analysis delivers a kind of a plot twist.
Okay.
While biotin sounds scientific, and it's often positioned as the hero ingredient, the reality is biotin deficiency is incredibly rare, especially in developed countries.
Oh, really?
Yeah, very rare. We're talking about a micronutrient that's widely available in just common foods. I mean, unless you're on a very unusual diet, like chugging raw egg whites every day, which actually inhibit biotin absorption.
Oh, I didn't know that,
Yeah,
huh?
it's a thing. But unless you're doing something like that, you're probably getting enough from your regular meals. Think about, eggs, nuts, leafy greens, even some meats. They're all good sources.
Okay, so it's in a lot of normal foods.
Exactly. And the studies on biotin supplements, they're quite clear. They show benefits mainly in people who were diagnosed as actually deficient.
Ah, okay, so people who needed it.
Right. For the vast majority of us, people with normal, healthy biotin levels, the research is, well, frankly, underwhelming.
Underwhelming, huh?
Yeah. One big scientific review looking at multiple studies found, and I quote, minimal evidence that biotin improves hair growth in healthy individuals.
Minimal evidence, wow.
So, yeah, you might end up with expensive urine that's maybe a bit brighter yellow because your body's just flushing out the excess. But the scientific consensus is that your hair isn't necessarily going to transform into that, luxurious mane the ads promise. It's a classic case of an ingredient being overhyped for everybody when its real clinical benefit is for a very specific and rare deficiency.
Expensive urine. Okay, that's a memorable phrase. It really puts the practical result, or lack thereof, into perspective, doesn't it?
It does.
So, okay, if biotin isn't the magic bullet for most of us, what about some of the other ingredients? Let's talk about that fody root extract. That one always sounds so exotic, ancient, maybe.
Yeah, it has that vibe.
It invokes, like, traditional wisdom, centuries of use. Traditional Chinese medicine, TCM, has supposedly used it for ages for different things, including hair health, which, sounds impressive. It gives it an air of mystique.
It absolutely does. And the appeal of ancient wisdom is really powerful psychologically.
For sure.
However, if we connect this to the bigger picture, it's kind of crucial to remember that traditional medicine, across many cultures, also recommended some things that we now know are actually harmful. Well, like mercury or even lead for various conditions back in the day. So just because something is ancient, it doesn't automatically mean it's effective or safe by today's, rigorous scientific standards.
That's a really good point. Ancient doesn't always equal better.
Exactly. And that's the key context that Savage Reviews brings up. While Fody has this long history of traditional use, modern clinical trials, the kind we rely on now specifically looking at Fody for hair growth, they're practically non-existent.
Oh, wow.
Really, yeah. There's a huge gap between that anecdotal or historical use and solid evidence-based effectiveness from modern scientific research.
Which you just don't have the data.
We really don't. Not the robust kind needed to confirm it works or even to fully understand its long-term safety in this context. So it's an interesting historical ingredient, definitely, but without that modern validation, its inclusion specifically for hair growth remains, well, unproven.
That's such a critical distinction to make the difference between traditional use and modern scientific proof. Not dismissing tradition, but understanding the need for current evidence.
Precisely.
Okay, then we have vitamin C and E. These are much more familiar. Antioxidants, body needs them. We hear about them all the time.
Absolutely. They're essential vitamins, powerful antioxidants, play huge roles in bodily functions, skin health, fighting oxidative stress, all that good stuff.
Right.
But the Savage Reviews analysis, again, highlights a common issue with supplements. Most people are actually getting enough of these from their everyday meals.
Okay.
Unless, their diet is truly lacking. Maybe, as the review kind of vividly put it, if you're living on energy drinks and gas station food.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
But think about it. Citrus fruits, berries, leafy greens, nuts, seeds, they're packed with vitamin C and E. Most reasonably balanced diets cover it.
Makes sense.
And furthermore, these specific vitamins, particularly vitamin C being water-soluble, they don't store well in the body anyway.
Oh, right.
Unlike some fat-soluble vitamins that can build up, excess vitamin C just gets flushed out.
Is that more expensive urine?
Pretty much. Your body uses what it needs, and the rest is just gone.
So, okay, based on this whole ingredient breakdown, what does this really mean for your daily vitamin intake? It really makes you question what your body's actually doing with these extra supplements. Right?
Exactly.
It strongly suggests that for many of us, maybe most of us, it's not really making a tangible difference. Which brings us to the fascinating and often really complicated world of user experiences.
Yeah, the reviews.
Yeah, the Savage Reviews source actually dug into this, analyzing thousands of reviews, pretty objectively.
Yeah.
And there's a clear pattern that shows up. You see lots of positive reviews mentioning improvements.
Okay.
But typically, they start reporting these changes after about, say, 3 months of using them consistently.
3 months. And that time frame is crucial, isn't it? But it's also where things get a bit murky.
How so?
Well, this raises a really important question about that timeline itself. The review suggests that any benefits people mention after 3 months might very well be correlation, not actual causation.
Correlation, not causation, right? I've heard that.
Think about it simply. Human hair naturally grows about half an inch a month, on average. That's 6 inches a year, roughly, give or take.
Right. That's the baseline.
Exactly. So if you're taking something for 3 months, you'll naturally have about 1.5 inches of new growth anyway. So if you feel like your hair is better, longer, maybe thicker after 3 months, is it truly the gummies? Or is it just your body doing its normal thing, following its natural hair growth cycle?
That's such a critical point, that baseline of natural growth.
Yeah.
It really puts a lot of those glowing testimonials into a different perspective, doesn't it?
But does.
Like, we're actively looking for results because we spent the money, so we might attribute any natural change to the product we've invested in.
Precisely. Our brains want to see the connection.
Okay, what about the other side of the coin then? The negative reviews. The review mentioned those too.
Yeah, they did. On the flip side, many users report basically zero change, no discernible difference at all. Which, honestly, given the scientific evidence on the ingredients for non-deficient people, isn't that surprising?
Makes sense.
But they also often complain about upset stomachs.
Ah, okay. Side effects.
Right. While MaryRuth's ingredients are generally seen as safe, any supplement, especially maybe if you take it on an empty stomach or maybe your body just doesn't need that much, it can cause digestive upset for some people.
Yeah, that can happen with lots of things.
It's just a reminder that even terms like natural or organic don't mean universally side effect free for every single person.
Good point.
So these contrasting experiences, some people seeing results after months, others getting nothing but maybe discomfort, it just complicates the picture even more. It really highlights the power of the placebo effect.
Yeah.
And our own inherent desire to see positive outcomes when we've invested time, hope, and especially money into something. Our expectations can be incredibly powerful in shaping what we perceive.
It's a huge psychological factor, that placebo effect.
Yeah.
Definitely something to keep in mind when you're looking at any wellness product, really.
Absolutely.
Now, let's really dig into the financial side of things, which Savage Reviews broke down with a pretty compelling price comparison.
Okay, the cost breakdown.
Yeah. They pointed out that you could actually buy these key vitamins individually, the biotin, vitamin C, vitamin E, separately for roughly $15 a month.
15 versus
the $35 price tag for the MaryRuth's gummies. So you'd be saving a full $20 every single month for essentially identical nutritional content.
Wow, that's a big difference. More than double the price for the gummy form.
Right. It really forces you to ask, what exactly are you paying that extra $20 a month for?
Yeah, what's the premium for?
And the review acknowledges the trade-off, obviously.
Yeah.
You'd lose the USDA organic certification for each individual component, probably.
Okay.
And you definitely lose the appealing strawberry flavor and the convenience of just popping a gummy.
Right. The taste and ease factor.
But in terms of the actual active nutritional ingredients, the stuff that's supposed to impact your hair, skin, and nails,
Yeah.
you're basically getting the same thing.
So it leads us to that fundamental question, doesn't it? Which the review poses directly to you, the listener.
Yeah.
Do you genuinely need supplemental biotin, vitamin C, and vitamin E if your diet already includes a decent mix of fruits, vegetables, eggs, nuts, etc.?
Right. If you're eating reasonably well.
The review's conclusion on this is pretty clear. Probably not. For the vast majority of people with a reasonably healthy diet, these just aren't necessary additions.
And it really makes you consider the true value proposition, doesn't it? Are you paying for nutrition you actually need? Or are you paying for the convenience, the branding, the organic label, and that pleasant taste experience?
Exactly. Because $20 a month, it adds up over time.
For sure. The review did identify a very specific kind of niche audience that might genuinely get a benefit, though.
Yes, that's an important nuance they included. They suggest these gummies might provide a real benefit for people with very restrictive diets.
Okay, like who specific?
Like maybe individuals with severe food allergies, or people following very strict vegan diets, or other specialized diets that inherently limit their intake of these specific nutrients. Or maybe those with certain medical conditions that affect how they absorb nutrients.
Okay, so specific dietary gaps or absorption issues.
Right. In those specific cases where a genuine dietary gap likely exists, a targeted supplement like this could indeed be helpful. It might be an easy way to fill that gap.
Makes sense.
But again, for the vast majority of the population, people with access to diverse foods, it's likely just redundant.
Okay.
And the review's blunt assessment from most users, they said they would simply fund expensive placebo effects.
Oof. That's a strong statement.
It is. It suggests that for many, any perceived benefit is probably more about expectation and belief, maybe that natural hair cycle we talked about, rather than actual physiological change driven by the ingredients.
Funding expensive placebo effects.
Yeah.
That's a powerful takeaway to chew on, especially when you're looking at that $35 price tag and weighing it against your actual nutritional needs.
Definitely.
It's not saying the product is inherently bad, necessarily,
No, not at all.
but its actual utility for the average consumer seems questionable based on this analysis.
Right. So to kind of summarize the verdict from Savage Reviews, MaryRuth Organics, they certainly make quality supplements. They've got clean ingredients, that USDA organic certification, honest labeling.
All good things?
Yeah, they seem to be a legitimate company with good manufacturing practices. And the product probably won't hurt you if you take it as directed.
Okay.
However, the review ultimately concludes they are significantly overpriced for what they actually offer to the average person who doesn't have a specific deficiency.
Okay, so that brings us to our nuanced conclusion for you, listening to this deep dive.
Yeah.
If you genuinely feel you need that gummy motivation to be consistent with taking vitamins,
Yeah, some people find that helpful.
and you have the disposable income where $35 a month isn't a major financial hit for you, then okay, fine, go for it.
If it fits your budget and helps you stay consistent, maybe?
You'll get a tasty organic supplement that likely won't cause any harm. But the absolutely key takeaway, I think, from this whole deep dive is just don't expect some miraculous transformation.
Right. Manage expectations.
Because the scientific evidence for these specific ingredients achieving that kind of result for someone who isn't deficient, it just isn't really there.
Yeah, the support is weak for the general population.
So probably save your money. Unless you've actually been diagnosed as deficient in these specific vitamins, or, you just really, really love expensive strawberry candy that happens to have some vitamins in it.
That's a fair summary. Pay for the nutrition if you need it, or pay for the candy experience if you want it, but know which one you're paying for.
Yeah, exactly. So thinking more broadly now, as you navigate this ever-expanding world of wellness trends, how do you decide what's truly beneficial for your body versus what's maybe just an appealing story wrapped up with a premium price tag?
That's the big question, isn't it? Critical thinking in the wellness space.
Yeah. What other miracle products are maybe flooding your social feeds right now? And what questions might be worth asking about their ingredients, their evidence, their real value before you click that add to cart button?
Something definitely worth mulling over, encouraging everyone to maybe do their own little deep dive before buying in.
Definitely. We encourage you to dig a little deeper.